Welcome to Yatim Khana and Madrasa Anjuman Khairul Islam's Pune College of Art, Science and Commerce Camp Pune 1. Myself, Dr. Arif Tamboli, working as Associate Professor in the Department of Electronic Science. Today we are going to study a very important topic so called as Precision Full Wave Rectifier. Precision Full Wave Rectifier. And in this Precision Full Wave Rectifier, again the name comes precision. Precision means it is very accurate and very precise, you can say that, as far as converting the AC voltage below zero point 0.7 volt into DC voltage. But this is a full wave rectifier and we have studied half wave rectifier in the previous lecture. So now let us start for that. So here precision full wave rectifier with 4 equal value resistors designed by using op-amp 741. So this is also the title given because precision full wave rectifier, there are various circuits. So many circuits are there, but for our syllabus, the rectifier circuit, full wave rectifier circuit, that is precision full wave rectifier circuit, is 4 equal value resistor. 4 equal value resistors are there. So you can see here in the diagram, you will observe 5 resistors, but it is said here of 4 resistors. The logic behind that I will explain you later on. So here you can say the first resistor R in, so that is also marked as R. Second resistor, this R. Third resistor is this R. Fourth one is this R. And here again there is a one register. So now just you remember that these are the 4 resistors or of equal value, and they plays a very important role in calculations. So that's why it is said 4 equal value resistors, and these 4 equal resistors are taken into consideration. Now in case of precision full wave rectifier, in case of precision full wave rectifier, two op amps are used, namely op amp number 1 and op amp number 2. So function of first op amp is common, means is always same during positive half cycle also and during negative half cycle also. So this op amp number 1 works as inverting amplifier during positive half cycle as well as during negative half cycle. But the role of op amp number 2 is going to change in negative half cycle. In positive half cycle, op amp number 2 during positive half cycle at the input, this is a V in. Op amp number 2 also works as inverting amplifier. But during negative half cycle, op amp number 2 changes its role and it works as non-inverting amplifier. And it works as non-inverting amplifier. And all of you know that precision full wave rectifier or full wave rectifier is always having a output somewhat like that. So it is said that the positive half cycle will appear as a positive half cycle and negative half cycle will get converted into positive half cycle and it will appear like this here. Therefore, this is called your a ripple, and this ripple is having a frequency double than the frequency of input signal, because you can see here this positive peak to this positive peak is this much time, and here this positive peak to this positive peak this much time, means time is half and frequency is double. Now just I will introduce here the basic blocks of this precision full wave rectifier. As you are aware that it is a 4 equal value resistors, so you have to draw the 4 resistors like this. And then as it is a rectifier, diode must be there, because diode is an active component which plays a very important role in passing the current in only one direction. And therefore in half wave, full wave and bridge rectifier, diodes are used, and here also the diodes are used. Two diodes are used here. So diode D1 and diode D2. Now in this diagram, as I told you, op amp number 1 is always playing the same role as inverting amplifier, and op amp number 2 plays the role as inverting amplifier for positive half cycle, but for negative half cycle it plays the role of non-inverting amplifier, and that you will come to know slowly. So here now let us try to understand that why this R is there. So this R is very important, and this R is also important in the feedback register of this inverting amplifier. These two are playing the same role. That's why it is said that this is the upper, and exactly below that this R is there. Now what is the role of this R? Now suppose here This is a Vx point, that is the output of op amp number 1. Suppose this Vx is high voltage level. Suppose this Vx is high voltage level, then no doubt that this high voltage level is applied to the anode of the diode D2, and diode D2 will start conducting. So now when diode D2 starts conducting, it will be replaced as a low resistance device, that is a closed switch. And therefore, if this resistance R is not there, then the cathode of the diode will get directly connected to this point, which is called virtual ground point, point A. Therefore, voltage at this point will be short circuited if this R is not there to the virtual ground. So to avoid that short circuiting, it is there. Similarly, here's this diode D1. Now suppose output of the op amp is in low voltage level, LVL minus. So anode of the diode D2 will be minus, but cathode of the diode D1 will be minus. So whenever cathode of the diode is in pull down in negative, whenever cathode of the diode is pulled down in negative, even though the anode voltage is 0 volt, it will start conducting, and this will behave as a closed switch. Now if it is behaving as a closed switch, then output of op amp will go to this point, and if R is not there, then this will get connected to the again virtual ground point A, and in this way output will get short circuited to the virtual ground A. Therefore this R is there, and this R is also important in the feedback resistor RF to calculate this value. So in this way, this is a general introduction. The role of this R is just to avoid the short circuiting of op amp number 1 to the ground. Now let's try to understand in this diagram, there are 3 points marked by the A. This is the A point first. This virtual ground, all of you know, you are familiar. Whenever op amp is used as inverting amplifier, the input is applied V in through the resistor R in, and this point comes here, and then this is the feedback RF, but we are writing same value RR, and this point is directly connected over here. So now this point is called virtual ground, that is the op amp's inverting amplifier configuration I explain you. Now A point is a virtual ground, and like that here, again look at this minus terminal of the op amp, and this also minus terminal. So here again there is a 1 point A. So this is also virtual ground, and again here there is also 1 point A. So in this diagram, you remember there are 3 points marked by the symbol A, and that 3 all points are virtual grounds. Okay. Now we'll proceed step by step. So let us try to understand first. It is a full wave precision rectifier. Full wave precision rectifier. Rectifier means conversion of AC voltage into DC voltage, and target of precision rectifier is to convert the AC voltage of 0.7 volt into DC voltage, or below 0.7 volt into DC voltage. Otherwise, conventional rectifiers are converting AC into DC above 0.7. So now in this diagram, as I told you, op amp number 1 during positive half cycle as well as during negative half cycle works as inverting amplifier. So first of all, let us try to understand the inverting amplifier, because if you understood the inverting amplifier, our job will become very simple in understanding this entire circuit. Similarly, we will try to understand non-inverting amplifier also by the diagram, and let us proceed for that. So here this diagram you have to remember. The diagram is very simple. Op amp number 1, op amp number 2, 4 equal resistors. Output of first op amp is connected to 2 diodes which are connected in series. Therefore, it is said that output of op amp is connected to the cathode of diode D1, and it is also connected to the anode of diode D2. So this is the diagram, and this R resistor is used to avoid the short circuiting of output of op amp number 1 to the virtual ground when diode D2 conducts. So it's very simple. Now let us proceed for that. So here, when positive half cycle is going on, so here I'll just make the corrections. So like that, when positive half cycle is going on, at that time, when positive half cycle is going on, at that time, at the input, at that time, number 1, op amp 1 works as inverting amplifier, and that is what I told you, and we'll study that slowly. And number 2, op amp 2 also works as inverting amplifier. So during the positive half cycle of an input signal, the role of op amp is same, as well as role of op amp 2 is also same. Means both op amps are working as inverting amplifier. So let us try to understand what is an inverting amplifier. And op amp number 2 also works as an inverting amplifier. So during positive half cycle, both op amps role is same. And all of you are know or aware about op-amp as inverting amplifier. You know, input voltage V in is applied through input resistance R in or R1 to inverting terminal because it is inverting amplifier. Non-inverting terminal is grounded because it is not used. Feedback resistor is used RF and it is connected to the output. So this is a very simple diagram of op-amp as inverting amplifier, and input voltage V in, which is to be amplified, is applied to the inverting input terminal. Feedback is given from output to the input with the help of RF and R1. Now here in our case we are using both values same, therefore we will write here R and here also R. Now try to understand, the basic is very simple. I am going to repeat it once again. In case of inverting amplifier, as the name suggests, inverting, it inverts the signal, means there is a phase shift of 180 degree between output and input, means when positive half cycle appears at the input, at the output it is amplified if this RF and RN are different. Otherwise, if they are same, it is not amplified, but positive half cycle will come as negative half cycle. And negative half cycle if present at the input, then as it is an inverting amplifier, so negative half cycle will come as a positive half cycle. And again the cycle will repeat. This negative half cycle will come as a positive half cycle, and this positive half cycle will come as a negative half cycle. So you understand, in this diagram I have drawn 1, 2, 3, 4 positive half cycles. So all these 4 positive half cycle will become negative half cycle. 1, 2, 3, 4. In this diagram, I have drawn 3 negative half cycle. 1, 2, 3. All these 3 negative half cycle will come as a positive half cycle. 1, 2, 3. So there is 180 degree phase between output and input. And output voltage equation is very simple. V out is equal to voltage gain into V in. And what is the voltage gain? Voltage gain is equal to minus RF upon R1, feedback resistor divided by input resistor. So this equation is very simple. But only one thing which is very important to remember, when positive half cycle is going here, here negative will go, and where negative is going over here at the input, at the output positive will go. That is what we are using in our precision rectifier. Now suppose here in this diagram, if I connect one PN junction diode over here, now here it is directly short circuited to the output, RF's another end. If I connect one PN junction diode over here, then what will happen? You try to understand. During positive half cycle, when positive is here, here will be the negative. See here. So output of op-amp will be in minus, and if I connect the diode over here, cathode of the diode will become minus. Cathode of the diode will become minus, and when positive half cycle is going on here, incoming current, that is positive current, comes here, and op-amp's input resistance is very high. Therefore, that positive current gets 99.99% diverted to RF. Therefore, this will be positive point. Therefore, this is positive, and diode, if you connect here, anode of the diode will be positive because positive half cycle is going on, and cathode of the diode will be negative because op-amp is in inverting configuration, and that diode will conduct. So now let us proceed step by step. See here. What we have done in the amplifier only, operational amplifier as inverting amplifier, we have connected this diode. Now, when positive half cycle is going on at the input, at the output, see negative half cycle is going on. Therefore, cathode of the diode will become negative and anode of the diode will be positive because here positive half cycle is going on, positive current goes in this direction, and diode will behave as a closed switch. But what will happen during negative half cycle? During negative half cycle at the input, here this point will be in minus. This point will be in minus because negative half cycle is going on. Therefore, cathode will also be minus. Sorry, anode or diode will be also minus. And what about cathode? This op-amp is inverting amplifier. Therefore, negative half cycle is converted into positive half cycle. See here, this negative half cycle is converted into positive half cycle. So output of op-amp will be in high voltage level. That is called your very high voltage in short. Instead of saying high voltage level, it is a high because positive half is going on here, and cathode of the diode will be at positive voltage. Now, whenever cathode of the diode is at positive voltage, diode will not conduct. So this diode will not conduct during negative half cycle. But now suppose if I connect one more diode over here, let us imagine now we'll going one more diode like this over here, then during positive half cycle, when this diode is conducting, why it is conducting? Because its anode is positive, cathode is negative, therefore it will conduct. Op-amp's output is in negative during positive half cycle. So when this is in negative, and if I connect one more diode over here, then that diode's anode will be negative, and therefore that will not conduct. But when negative half cycle is going on at the input, try to understand, when negative half cycle is going on at the input, this point will be at negative, so this is negative, and op-amp will invert negative half cycle into positive half cycle. This will be positive, therefore cathode of this diode D1, suppose it is positive, it will not conduct. But when I connect here one more diode, that diode's anode will be positive during negative half cycle, because here it is a positive, and that will conduct. So that is very simple, step by step we are proceeding now. See here. So what we have done, we have connected here one more diode, but now I have connected the cathode of that diode directly to the ground, and this creates a problem. Why? Because when negative half cycle is going on at the input, no doubt this diode will not conduct, and when negative half cycle is going at the input, op-amp will invert it and make it positive like this here. See, so this point is positive. So anode of the diode D2, let us say here, will be positive, and diode D2 will conduct this, and this conducting diode will become very low resistance divide and short circuit. Therefore, op-amp's output will be connected directly to the ground when diode D2, this lower diode, is conducting, and that will create a problem because output of op-amp will be short circuited to the ground. Therefore, to avoid that, what we'll do, we'll connect one resistor over here. We'll connect one resistor over here, so resistor will not allow to short circuit the output of op-amp to the ground when this lower diode D2 is conducting. So that is what here step by step proceed now. Yes, here see, we have solved that problem by connecting the resistor R. Now here the diagram in short, once again I will explain you. During positive half cycle, input current IN flows like this. This point will be in positive voltage, increasing with respect to time. This will be positive. Op-amp will invert it, make it negative. Positive half cycle will come negative. Op-amp's output is negative. Anode of the diode, upper diode D1, is positive and cathode is negative. This will conduct. Now output of op-amp is negative because we are considering only positive half cycle going here. So when output of op-amp is in negative, lower diode's anode will be negative, and when anode of the diode is in minus, this diode will not conduct. Now next, positive half cycle or and negative half cycle will start. When negative half cycle will start, the voltage at this point will going in negative direction because you applied a negative half cycle through R1. So at this point, when voltage is going in negative direction, this will be minus, and negative half cycle will get converted by op-amp into positive half cycles here. So output of op-amp will be positive. Therefore, upper diode's cathode will be positive, so it will not conduct. But due to positive of the op-amp, voltage of the op-amp, lower diode's anode is positive, so it will conduct. So during negative half cycle, lower diode D2 will conduct, and current will flow through this, and voltage will get developed across this diode. So this is very important. Voltage will get developed across this resistor, and what voltage will develop? That negative half cycle which is coming as a positive half cycle, that negative half cycle which is coming as a positive half cycle will appear at this output with respect to ground due to this resistor. If it is not there, then that negative half cycle which is appearing as a positive half cycle, and if the diode is there, then that positive half cycle appearing over here will get short circuited directly to the ground if this resistor is not there. So this is very simple electronics. Now let us proceed, and this is what the diagram. Here instead of writing RF we have written R, and here instead of writing R1 we have written R, and this is our first block. Okay, only what we are doing, this inverting terminal will ground here only, and anyway this is a ground, so it is a virtual ground. So this is ground, this is a real ground, and this ground, real ground, we don't want. We'll connect it to the virtual ground. We'll connect it to the virtual ground. This is the real ground, ground of the power supply. Plus minus VCC, two batteries are there, and this is a center of the battery. So this will connecting to the virtual ground, and that is our first block. So as soon as you will understand this entire circuit, I hope it is very simple. Op-amp as an inverting amplifier only application is there, how it inverts positive half cycle into negative, and how it inverts negative half cycle into positive, and then accordingly how the anode and cathodes of the diode become positive and negative, and the diode which is having anode positive will conduct, and the diode which is having cathode positive will not conduct. Cathode positive will not conduct, anode positive will conduct. So it is very simple. So now you will understand the first block which I have shown over here. See, input voltage Vin is applied through the Rin, that is R1, R, what you say, now we are taking R. Inverting amplifier, this point is grounded. two diodes are connected, D1 and D2. This point is X. This R is there. Now so here, after D2 we connected a resistor vertically. Now we have taken it horizontally. That resistor R I have taken horizontal, and another end of the R I am not grounding to the real ground. I am grounding it to the virtual ground, that is point A. So now when this diode D2 is short circuit, and when negative half cycle is converted into positive half cycle, you will observe that positive half cycle at the output of the op amp 1 due to this resistor. But if this resistor is not there, then during negative half cycle, when it is converted by op amp into positive half cycle and diode D2 conducts, then if it is not there, this point will get, op amp's output will get short circuited to the virtual ground or real ground, you say, and you will not get that negative converted into positive at the output, because short circuit voltage is always 0. And this first block is very simple now. Op amp has inverting amplified with input resistor Rin, feedback resistor RF. Inverting input is applied, non-inverting not used, so grounded. Two diodes are connected, and diode D2's cathode is connected to the virtual ground through the resistor R. This is very important, through the resistor R. And then now one more op amp is here. So this op amp is also having a minus sign upper. This is also having a minus sign upper. This plus sign is here. Now this plus sign we are not grounding. We are connecting to the cathode of the diode D2. Cathode of the diode D2. And this point is connected to the junction of this R and this R. So here you can say that this is a feedback resistor RF. This is input resistor Rin. That is we called R1 or R. So like this, because all four are equal R, that's why we have written everywhere R. And in this way, I hope now the diagram is very simple. Now let us proceed. So during the positive half cycle, what happens? Diode D1 conducts, that is upper diode. Now one more circuit which we want to revise, and that is called operational amplifier as non-inverting amplifier. This is what we studied is inverting amplifier. This is whatever we studied. We started for this inverting amplifier. Positive half cycle will become negative, negative will become positive. Input is applied at inverting input through the Rin or R1 resistor. Now non-inverting, what is done here? This terminal is grounded and input is applied to the non-inverting terminal. This terminal is grounded and input is applied to the non-inverting terminal. In this inverting, you see here non-inverting which is not used is grounded. In case of inverting amplifier, non-inverting input pin is not used, so it is grounded. So now let us proceed for non-inverting amplifier. It is also very simple. So here we are applying the input voltage at non-inverting, that is positive terminal. Power supply is also applied to the op amp, and feedback resistor is R. Now intentionally I have taken this as a 2R. This as a 2R means RF is R and Rin is 2R. So amplification will be done. Okay. Otherwise, so even though if you take this to R and R, then also amplification is done, no doubt, because this is non-inverting amplifier. The equation is V out is equal to 1 plus RF upon Rin. 1 plus RF upon Rin. Therefore, even though RF and Rin are same, so RF upon Rin will become 1 and 1 plus 1 will become 2, and output will be 2 times of input. Therefore, here, but again we want to amplify it more, that's why we will take it to R. So now RF upon R. RF upon R. RF is what? R divided by Rin. RF upon Rin. So here Rin is our 2R. So R divided by 2R, like that we have taken. So into bracket and into Vin. So this is also very simple. Op amp as non-inverting amplifier, only what happens? Input voltage is applied to the non-inverting terminal, as the name suggests, non-inverting amplifier, and this combination remains same. This terminal is grounded. This terminal is grounded. This is feedback resistor, this is input resistor. According to the value of these two, output voltage is calculated by using this formula. So V out is equal to into bracket 1 plus RF upon Rin. Now here our RF is R and Rin is 2R. Therefore 1 plus RF upon backslash 2 times of R bracket close into V in this V in. And in this way it is that. Now let us go to our main circuit diagram, precision full wave rectifier. If you have understood whatever the things I have earlier explained to you, then your job is 90% over, because same thing I am repeating here again and again. Whatever I told you earlier, same thing I am repeating here again and again. So now try to understand this now. During positive half cycle of an input signal V in, which is to be rectified or converted into DC, during positive half cycle of an input signal V in, which is applied to the first op amp, and that first op amp is used as inverting amplifier. Therefore, positive half cycle will become negative half cycle. So see here diagram very clear. And output of op amp will be in minus, that is negative. Therefore, when Vx is in minus, that is negative output of op amp, diode D1 cathode is minus. Cathode of diode D1 is minus. At the same time, anode of diode D2 is also minus because both are connected at same junction point Vx or point X. Therefore, diode D1 will conduct because its cathode is negative and anode is positive. Why anode is positive? Because you are talking about positive half cycle is going here. Therefore, at a point A, the voltage will go on increasing with respect to ground, or current also go on increasing with respect to time. Okay. So in this way, this is positive, this cathode is negative. So during positive half cycle, diode D1 will conduct, D2 will not conduct because its anode is negative. See here, negative half cycle here. And in this way, when this is conducting, let us replace it by closed switch. And when this is not conducting, let us replace it by open switch and try to prove that this negative voltage which is appearing over here is applied to the inverting input of this op amp, and this op amp also works as inverting amplifier. Therefore, if you apply negative input to this op amp, that will become positive. If you apply the negative input to this op amp, because it is inverting mode, so we want to prove that this is working in inverting mode. Therefore, during positive half cycle, replace D1 by closed switch and D2 by open switch. So that is what simply we have to do it. Let us proceed now. So it is given in above diagram, when positive half cycle is going on at the input of op amp 1, at that time op amp 1 works as inverting amplifier and positive half cycle appears as negative half cycle at the output of op amp 1. So everything is given here. Positive half cycle will appear as a negative half cycle at the output of op amp 1. Next, due to negative output of op amp 1, anode of diode D2 and cathode of diode D1 becomes negative. Anode of diode D2 and cathode of diode D1 becomes negative because both are connected at the same point. Due to negative anode of diode D2 and cathode of diode D1. This is the cathode of diode D1, this is anode of diode D2. Therefore, D1 conducts and D2 does not conduct. Let us replace conducting D1 by closed switch and non-conducting D2 by open switch. So here it is given at the anode of D1, positive voltage appears due to very high input resistance of the op amp. So if you consider this, or you can simply ignore that. So let us replace. Let us replace diode D1 by closed switch and diode D2 by open switch. Positive half cycle is appear as a negative half cycle here. Now look in this diagram very carefully. This diode D2 is open switch. Therefore, this resistor R, which was used to convert this output voltage into a negative half cycle, now this output voltage is not connected to the resistor R only because diode D2 is open. Therefore, now what we will do it here, this point A is a virtual ground. Point A is a virtual ground. So virtual ground and real ground, there is a difference. So we'll try to connect this point A to the virtual ground by showing a dot 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 line and then to the ground. So this point is also getting connected to the virtual ground, and we'll try to show you that now this point Vx, diode D1 is closed switch. So Vx here will go directly here and will go here. Means at this, all these points, these are short circuited. See here, all these terminals are short circuited. So this Vx which I have written at the output of the op amp, can I write over here? Yes, because this is short circuit, and that Vx will go as input signal to the second op amp. And in second op amp, this R is a feedback resistor, this R is the input resistor. So input to the second op amp is now Vx. Now only we want to prove that how does this works as inverting amplifier, because in inverting amplifier you will say the positive should get connected to the ground. The positive terminal should get connected to the ground directly or through the resistor, doesn't matter that. That we have to show now. Now this positive terminal through the resistor R, how does it is going to connect it to the ground, that I am explaining you. As D2 is open, another end of R is connected over here. This is a virtual ground. So let us replace that point by a virtual ground. So in above diagram, all 3 points are virtual ground. Let us connect first a point to the ground terminal as shown below. So here see, this point A we have dot 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 and then connected to the ground. So look at here. This is important. So dot dot dot, why? Because this is not a real ground. This is a virtual ground. Now this terminal is connected to the ground of R2. Therefore now this is open. So can I take this R2 over here? Yes. And I can prove that. See here. Due to diode D2 as open switch, load resistor R2 gets connected to the ground as shown below. See here. And now as shown below means here see. That R I have simply taken from that location and connected here. Now you can look at this diagram very carefully. Second op amp is having this terminal as a Vx, means input. This terminal is grounded through the resistor R. This terminal is grounded through the resistor R, and therefore now it is proved that the second op amp is working as inverting amplifier. So now op amp second works as inverting amplifier. So not a non-inverting amplifier. Op amp second works as inverting amplifier. So here op amp second works as inverting amplifier with input as a Vx as shown below. With input as a op amp second works as inverting amplifier with input as a Vx as shown below. So here if the input Vx is applied to this terminal, then op amp second output will be your given by the equation Vout is equal to, so that equation let us see here. Vout is equal to minus Rf upon Rin into Vin. But our Rf feedback resistor is what? Feedback resistor is, yes, R only, and input resistor R, because input is Vx is over here, and that diagram is further simplified here. This Vx, this entire part is removed now. Output of op amp Vx is here. Diode D2 open switch. And this Vx is connected now through this R to the point A. Then this R, this op amp is as it is. Non-inverting input terminal is connected to the R and then ground. So now this is a simplified diagram. We have removed the unwanted part to avoid the confusion. So this entire part we have removed. First one, we are only talking about output of op amp Vx, okay? And then that Vx, how does it goes over here, and how does second op amp works as inverting amplifier. So here see, the triangle of the op amps just is here, and this is output of op amp. So this Vx goes over here. Now D2 is open switch, so no use of that. And in this way here, this is your Rin, this is Rf, and this is grounded through the R. So no problem. Therefore output of op amp will be Rf upon Rin into Vin is equal to, both are same. Therefore output of op amp Vout, try to understand, is equal to minus Vx, is equal to minus Vx. And this is very important to understand that. What do we mean by the output of op amp? Output of op amp is minus Vx. Minus Vx means what? What is Vx? Vx is negative half cycle. Vx is negative half cycle. So this is inverted. This negative half cycle is inverted and appear as a positive half cycle. And in this way, this is the working of first op amp as well as second op amp only during positive half cycle. Only during positive half cycle. So all positive half cycles, now let us try to understand, all positive half cycles are inverted by the first op amp and becomes as a negative half cycle, because op amp 1 is also used as a inverting amplifier. All negative half cycles at the output of op amp 1, all negative half cycle at the output of op amp 1, not this input. All negative half cycle inverted output. So all negative half cycles at the output of op amp 1 are converted into positive half cycle by op amp 2, because it is also working as a inverting amplifier. And in this way, during positive half cycle, how does op amp 1 works as inverting amplifier, and during positive half cycle only, how does op amp second works as inverting amplifier, that we understood. And positive half cycle will appear as a positive half cycle only. So all positive half cycles will appear as a positive half cycle. Now we'll try to understand how does op amp 1 works during negative half cycle, and how does op amp 2 works during negative half cycle, and then entire understanding of precision rectifier for positive half cycle as well as negative half cycle is over. Now let us start for that. What will be the role of op amp during both op amp during negative half cycle. So that already I have explained you. During positive half cycle, both op amp works as inverting amplifier only. But during negative half cycle, op amp 1 work as a inverting and op amp 2 works as a non-inverting. That's why it is necessary to study that again in detail here. But Vx is negative half cycle output of first op amp. This is very important. Vx is negative half cycle output of first op amp. Therefore, it becomes positive half cycle, and this is the working of both op amp during positive half cycle of input signal. Now let us proceed for the next. Let us start. Let us understand. Let us start to understand the working of both op amp during negative half cycle of input sine wave. Now during negative half cycle of input signal, op amp 1 works as inverting amplifier, but op amp 2 works as non-inverting amplifier. That is important, and we'll see it's very simple. Negative half cycle of input signal appears as a positive half cycle at the output of op amp 1, because op amp 1 is what? Inverting amplifier. If you apply negative half cycle at the input, output it will become positive half cycle. That in beginning I explained you only as shown below, because op amp works as inverting amplifier. Now see here, due to positive output of op amp 1, because negative half cycle is becoming positive, anode of diode D2 and cathode of diode D1 becomes positive. So we'll go to the diagram, and from the diagram we'll try to understand that. So here see, yes, during negative half cycle, what is going to happen? During negative half cycle, inversion will take place. Inversion means op amp 1 will invert it. But remember here, negative half cycle is shown after positive half cycle. What happens? Negative half cycle, if you convert into positive half cycle from the zero, mean the beginning of the time t, that is wrong. Because this is the space of what? Positive half cycle. This space is the positive half cycle. So negative half cycle is converted into positive half cycle. And during negative half cycle, op amp 1 work as inverting amplifier. At point A, negative voltage is going on. At point A, negative voltage is going on. Therefore, you see all currents are flowing towards point A. All currents are flowing towards point A because point A is in negative minus. So that again you will understand after some time. So negative half cycle will become positive half cycle, and because of that, output of op amp will be in op amp 1, of course, will be in positive. Therefore, anode of the diode D2 becomes positive, cathode of the diode D2 also becomes positive. Therefore, diode D1 will not conduct and diode D2 will conduct. And D2 conducting diode will replace as a closed switch. D1 non-conducting diode will replace as a open switch. So in this way here, that diagram is given over here also. So D1 is not conducting and D2 is conducting. So here everything is given. Due to positive output of op amp 1, anode of diode D2 and cathode of diode D1 becomes positive because both are connected at point. Here diode D1. So diode D1 was here. Sorry, cathode of the diode D1 becomes positive, anode of the diode D2 becomes also positive because both are connected at same point X. And in this way now, D1 is open, D2 is closed. So that you have to understand during negative half cycle, D1 open, D2 closed. And when D2 is closed now, see, try to understand how does the circuit starts functioning. This output voltage of the op amp 1 Vx is now close switch of the D2 and get connected over here. Therefore, across R, there will be some voltage developed. That is what I told you beginning. Otherwise, if this R is not there, try to understand. If this R is not there, now when D2 is closed switch, this point will get directly connected to the virtual ground and the output will become zero. And this type of waveform you will not observe only. Now, whatever this type of waveform you are observing, that credit goes to this R, because this is not allowing to short circuit the output of the op amp due to closed switch position of the diode D2 with virtual ground. And that is why this is also important. So in this way here, this positive half cycle which is developed at the output of the op amp is nothing but the voltage across R only, because one terminal is connected here and another terminal where you connect to the ground only. So that virtual ground, so or real ground. So in this way here, this D2, when it is closed switch, the voltage is developed across R, and that voltage developed across R at a point A is very important for us, because that voltage is applied at non-inverting pin. That voltage is applied at non-inverting pin, and that's why this op-amp is working as non-inverting amplifier. Then you will say, what about this upper part, sir? So we'll come to that. Now, when D1 is open switch, when D1 is open switch, you can look at this diagram. This R and this R, are they in series? Yes, they are in series, but they comes in series because D1 is open switch. So I can replace this R and this R as a 2R. And again, you look at this point A, what you are talking? You are talking the negative half cycle is going on. Negative half cycle is going on. Point A is at what point? Virtual ground. So this terminal I can connect as a virtual ground. So here R and R will replace as a 2R, and that will connect to the virtual ground, means ground. And then this diagram will be very simple. This R and R will become 2R, and that's why in non-inverting amplifier I have taken this as a 2R, remember, and this as a R. So this point is a virtual ground, so it is as good as connected to the ground. Now D1 is open, so they are R and R in series. Now our point of interest is to calculate the voltage at point A, because the voltage developed across R during negative half cycle, at the input, but at the output of op amp 1, that negative half cycle is becoming positive half cycle after the space of this positive half cycles original. And now we'll try to understand that how to calculate the voltage at this point. So this diagram first of all will simplify, and whatever I have explained you now, it is given in description also, so you can understand now. In above diagram, upper two resistors are in series because D1 is open switch. Replace two resistors of R and R by 2R as shown below. Replace two resistors R and 2R by 2R because diode D1 is open switch. So that is what I explained you. Here op amp 2 is working as non-inverting amplifier because Vx is applied to its non-inverting pin. Which Vx? This Vx here. This Vx is applied to its non-inverting pin, and this Vx is the voltage developed across R. This Vx is the voltage developed across R, and this Vx directly goes here to non-inverting pin, and therefore this works as non-inverting amplifier. Now to calculate the Vout of op amp second, now we want to calculate the output voltage of op amp second. It is necessary to know the voltage at non-inverting pin of the op amp second, that is at lower point A. That is what I said. Now if you want to calculate the voltage of the output of op amp, this voltage how much it is there, that you must know that, and that to calculate that voltage will use a very simple logic, because now when you're talking about negative half cycling going here, all current will start flowing through towards that yes point, because current always select least resistance path. And let us proceed now slowly. Now to calculate the Vout of op amp 2, it is necessary to know the voltage at non-inverting pin of op amp 2, that is lower point A, which I have shown you. To know the voltage at non-inverting input pin of op amp 2, let us indicate all currents flowing towards the first virtual ground point A. Let us indicate all the currents flowing towards first virtual ground point A, means from left hand side first virtual ground point A. Now why we are showing all the currents flowing towards the first virtual ground point A? Because negative half cycle is going on at that point, and we are all discussing this all about negative half cycle, because negative half cycle is going at that point A. So all the currents will rush there, and see the diagram. Very simple. Now you are talking about negative half cycle. Our first part is completed. Op amp 1 behaves as inverting amplifier, negative half cycle will come as a positive, and due to that only this is becoming closed switch. When it is negative over here, all currents will go like that. Now which currents? Three currents. When Vin is applied, In will flow, input current. Now at this point Vx, there is voltage, this waveform is developed. Now this point Vx is connected to the point A, so you can say that Vx is equal to Va, because Vx and A point and Va are short circuited. So whatever voltage Vx is there, same voltage is here, but this is not grounded because of R. This voltage is not grounded because of this R, so that R is very important. Now this Va, this Vin, and here one more voltage point is A, so this is also A. Now this voltage Va, This voltage VA and this voltage VA all are virtual ground points voltage and all are same. So if you calculate any one of them, you will get all these values. And now let us see, very simple. Vx is short circuited through conducting diode due at a point A, therefore Vx equal to Va, and this Va only we want to calculate because this Vx is applied to point non-inverting terminal of the second op amp. Now this Va and this Vx are the same, so we'll calculate Va because Va is equal to Vx. Now to calculate that, as I told you, negative half cycle is going here and all current, input current also goes in this direction. This current will come feedback current like this because this point is at negative. This current will go and we'll apply Kirchhoff's current law. Now why this is to R? Because that R and R were in series and this was open, that's why we connected to R. Therefore this current will be current I flowing through the resistor to R. Current I flowing through the resistor to R. This current will be current I due to input voltage V in, therefore it is I in. Now what about this current through R? Very simple. Current flowing through R is IR. I is the current, R is the value of resistor. Now all these three currents are coming to that point, and all of you know that input resistance of op amp is very less. So Rin is input resistance of op amp is very high. Therefore, input current op amp is very less. Input resistance of op amp is very high in mega ohm. Therefore, input current going to the op amp is very less, means in microampere. In what? Microampere. Therefore, that input current is always considered as negligible, and therefore here see, all three currents are rushing to this point. Again, I am repeating why they are rushing to this point, because this point is going in negative, and therefore summation of current is equal to, summation of current means addition of this current IR2 plus I in plus IR, all they are coming to this point, is equal to the current going to the op amp. But current going to the op amp is very less because input resistance is very high. Therefore, that will write as a 0. And therefore, here to calculate that voltage, let us start by applying this logic and proceed for that. So here, in above diagram, if we calculate the VA at the first virtual ground point A, then our job will become simple. Then the same voltage is present at all that virtual ground point. So it is very simple. To calculate VA, let us apply Kirchhoff's current law at a point A. To calculate VA, let us apply Kirchhoff's current law at point A. So that is what we said. Now at a point A, all three currents are incoming and outgoing current to the op amp is almost 0. That is what I explained. At a point A, all three currents are incoming and outgoing current to the op amp is almost 0 due to infinite input resistance of the op amp. You can say infinite is not possible, but in mega ohm. Therefore, write down the Kirchhoff's current law. I in is what? Input current. I in is what? Input current. This, because you are applying V in, that's why I in. So I in plus I to R. I is important current. 2R is the value of that resistor, plus IR. So here I in, I to R, and here IR. So like that, three resistors current will be like this and equal to 0. So this is very simple equation. Now in this equation, current is there I, but this current I is can be calculated the value of that current by using voltage law, Ohm's law. So V is equal to I into R. Let us use the Ohm's law. V is equal to I into R. Therefore, I in is equal to V in divided by R, because I in is what? Current, input current. I in is what? Current, input current. I in, and what you applied? You applied V in. Look at this. Therefore, I in is equal to V in divided by R, because V is equal to I into R. And similarly, I to R will be what? VA divided by 2R. Now 2R is the value of resistor that you know. Now you will say from where this VA comes, because let to understand here, this point voltage VA, because of the voltage at this point, the current is flowing through this 2R in this direction because this point is at negative. So VA is the voltage at this point that is responsible to flow the current through this 2R, and current is flowing in this direction because this point A is going in negative half cycle. So in this way, that is again very simple. I to R is equal to VA upon 2R. Next, IR is equal to VA upon R. Now again see here, IR, current going through this resistor R, is the IR. Now Vx and A points are short circuited. Therefore, VA is equal to Vx. Therefore, current going through this resistor R will be current going through this resistance R, that is IR, will be VA upon R, because this voltage is applied to this point and again the current is going in this direction. So here, by using simple Ohm's law, you can write I in is equal to V in divided by R, I to R is equal to VA divided by R, IR is equal to VA by R. Only in this case of I to R and IR, VA comes here. Now let us proceed for the next step. That equation number 1 is the addition of all three currents, and that currents are calculated by using Ohm's law. Substitute all these three equation number 2, 3 and 4 in 1. So you will get here, see, I in is equal to V in divided by R plus I to R. What is I to R? VA divided by 2R, VA divided by 2R plus IR. What is IR? VA divided by R equal to 0, equal to 0. Now let us go to the what? Yes, this is R, this is 2R, this is 2R. Let us take common 2R, and then here there is a R only, so here there is a V in, so multiply this by 2. Here there is a 2R, therefore you don't want to multiply anything to this VA. Here there is a R and we have taken 2R as a LCM. So here this R, and therefore here again it will multiply by 2, and very simple now, 2V in plus VA plus 2VA divided by 2R equal to 0. Now this 2R, if I multiply on the right hand side, that will 2R into 0 will be 0, and in this way 2R into 0 will be 0. But now here see, VA plus 2VA, so you will write 3VA, and this 2 in will be there, so here 2V in, VA plus 2VA, 3VA, and this 2R is equal to 0. Therefore 2V in is equal to, let us take this on the right hand side, minus 3VA, and therefore VA will be equal to, see, very simple, VA is equal to 2V in divided by 3 and minus sign will come, so VA is equal to minus 2 by 3 V in. VA is equal to minus 2 by 3 V in. So this is very simple. You can go to this calculation again and again. And finally, we got VA is equal to minus 2 by 3 V in. And what is that VA? That VA is the voltage at what point? Non-inverting terminal of op-amp 2. Now see here in this diagram what we have done. We have connected this point of R to R, sorry, to the ground, because that is a virtual ground. That is a virtual ground. So let us go again there. So this terminal of the R to R, sorry, this terminal of the 2R is going to this point. This point is a virtual ground. So here only we have shown it as a ground because this diode is open. So this we have shown as a ground. And secondly, what is VA? Vx is equal to VA because this is short circuited. So this VA is over here, and therefore you got succeeded in getting the VA, and that will be the simplified diagram of op-amp 2 as non-inverting amplifier, op-amp 2 as non-inverting amplifier with VA is equal to minus 2 by 3 into V in, and this VA is nothing but the voltage at the output of op-amp 1 when negative half cycle is going on. It is very important. This VA is nothing but voltage at the output of op-amp 1, that is Vx is equal to VA when negative half cycle is going on. And now we want to prove that when this negative half cycle, which is VA, voltage VA minus 2 by 3 of V in is here, at that time output is equal to, what should be the V out now? At that time output should be equal to minus V in. Therefore we can say that the minus V in is, if the output, then it is a non-inverting. Therefore this negative sign, negative half cycle, will come as a positive half cycle. This negative half cycle will come as a positive half cycle if you able to prove that V out is equal to minus V in, because now your input voltage is in the negative half cycle. So now let us proceed. At least you have understood this VA is equal to minus 2 by 3 into V in. And now it is very simple. Look at this op-amp. This is non-inverting amplifier such that RF is R and Rin is 2R. And input voltage is VA. This V in is your sine wave's input voltage. Try to understand. This is input V in, see here V in. This is the sine wave input, and VA is the voltage at the output of first op-amp, that is Vx is equal to VA is equal to minus 2 by 3 into V in. So this VA is the input of this op-amp, which is used as non-inverting amplifier. So now let us calculate this. V out is equal to 1 plus Rf upon Rin into V in, but our Rf is R and Rin is 2R. So let us substitute that value, and our V in is minus 2 by 3 V in. Therefore, but RF is equal to R and Rn is equal to 2R. Therefore, it is very simple. V out is equal to 1 plus R divided by 2R, Rin divided by Rf into V in. V in is minus 2 by 3 into V in into V. This V in. This V in is the input to the non-inverting amplifier. So this V in is our VA. This V in is our VA, which is minus 2 by 3 into V in. So in this way here, it is a very simple calculation. R divided by 2R, RR will get cancelled. RR will get cancelled because divided by 2R it is. So 1 by 2 will remain. So 1 plus 1 by 2, that will give you 2 by 3. That will give you 2 by 3, and minus sign is here because of what? Our input, which is applied to the second op amp at non-inverting pin, that VA is equal to minus 2 by 3 of V. That is over here. Now this is very simple calculation. 3 by 2 into minus 2 by 3 into V in. So 3 by 2 and 2 by 3 will get cancelled to each other, and V out is equal to minus V in. V out is equal to minus V in, and this is the very important point. Here students get confused. Sir, V out is equal to minus V in. How come? Because your this input is negative half cycle. This input V in is your original input of the sine wave, that is your negative half cycle. Means it is proved that negative half cycle at the output of second op amp, this is the second op amp's output, is converted into positive half cycle because negative and negative will become positive. So this is the important thing here, and that's why I have marked here. This is the V in. So in this equation, this is V in. This VA is the voltage at output of op amp 1, that is Vx, which is working as an input to the op amp second. And here at last you got succeeded in proving that negative half cycle will appear as a positive half cycle to the second op amp, and in this way all positive half cycles are inverted by the first op amp during positive half cycle appear as a negative, and then second op amp is working as inverting only, so therefore that negative will become positive. So positive half cycles will be as it is, but negative half cycle, it is little bit lengthy to understand how does it get converted into positive half cycle, and I hope from this equation you have got it. Okay, now therefore negative half cycle will appear as a positive half cycle at the output, and the circuit work as a full wave rectifier at the output, means output of op amp second. Now here I have just used one circuit simulation software, and I am going to demonstrate. You see here a precision full wave rectifier. This R, so 4R are there, and this R, this is very important R, because of this R only we got succeeded in getting the voltage over here. Otherwise when this is conducting, this would, if it is not there, it will get short circuited, and voltage applied to this second op amp at non-inverting will be 0. Therefore this is very important. Now look at the diagram very carefully. Intentionally I have taken peak voltage 1 volt. Intentionally I have taken peak voltage 1 volt. Here if you look in this corner, peak voltage 1 volt, peak voltage 1 volt. And what is the converted, or rectified? AC is converted into DC, converted DC or rectified DC output. Rectified DC output is positive half cycle is there, and negative is converted into positive. So this is somewhat a full wave rectifier's output only. But the difference is what? Look at this peak voltage. You look at this is very important. This peak voltage is 998.98 or 999.98 millivolt. It is very small, and it is proved that 100% rectification of input signal from 0 volt to 1 volt is done. Means even 100 millivolt, 10 millivolt, 50 millivolt, 0.5 millivolt, sorry, 0.5 volt means 500 millivolt, all that values in the range of 0 to 1 volt get converted into DC, and this is the important. This will not happen in case of simple rectifier designed by using half wave, full wave and bridge. So I have shown you that diagram also. In case of that, you will get this voltage here 300 millivolt. Here we are getting 998.98 millivolt, and this is what a precision full wave rectifier it converts. the AC input voltage of even 10 millivolt or 5 millivolt also into DC voltage, This is one diagram. One more diagram is there because this is from directly from that screenshot, and this is one from screenshot I have taken into Paint, and then I have taken it over here. So which one is feel it convenient? You see, this is a 1 volt. See here, it is a 1 volt. Can you see 1 volt? And here you see it is 998 or 99.99 millivolt, means almost 1000 millivolt is equal to 1 volt. Only 5 10 millivolt difference will be there, because that is the minimum voltage required for op amp to change its states, 5 millivolt to 10 millivolt. So that is there, and this is a final result. And with this I will conclude that key you have understood everything, and if you have not understood, repeat the video again and again. Now this video is with you, so thank you very much for watching this video. Thanks.